while Pip was sick, I actually went up to Queensland 3 different times to see her. That first time that you've just seen. Then I went up a second time, and they had actually, or not they, she'd actually decided to try a respite home, which is possibly where she might have gone for her last few weeks. But you know what? There's no facilities for someone young who's dying, which I guess kind of makes sense because, you know, you don't like to think that there's a lot of people out there like that. But they had to put her in an old people's home. Like, so she was surrounded by people in their 70s and 80s. And they were lovely and all that sort of thing, but it was depressing. And I stayed up there the night, so I stayed with her. We went through 3 bottles of French champagne, which she was a party girl, let me tell you. And we had such fun. Even when she found it hard to move her hands, we had a straw happening for her so she could sort of lean over and have some champagne. So by the end of that day, even though her speech was still okay at that point, by the end of that day, because we'd had so much to drink, I said, you know what? I said, I just can't understand you at the end of the day, but it was fun and we had such a good time. And every time I went up to see her, she always made an effort to be absolutely incredible. The times I had with her while she was sick were amazing, and she was so gracious and incredible. She really helped everyone else deal with it. She wasn't sitting around being mopey and sad. I mean, I'm sure she had her times, and she had an incredible group of friends, like some amazing girlfriends, and her ex-husband came back, Peter, who is lovely, and he helped her. He was there all the time with the kids, and then she had a group of girlfriends who took it in turns to just come in, and you have to do everything. They had to help her with every aspect of her life, and they were true angels. They were incredible. You know, I just popped in and out, but they were the ones who did the really hard work, so I just provided the comic relief, I think, so to lighten it all up a little bit. So when I went up the second time, the first time was the video, second time she was in the nursing home, and then I went back the next day because I stayed somewhere else, and she had checked herself out and gone back home. She was very funny. So she really wanted to die at home, and she did, which was great. That was really fantastic for her. And then the third time I went up, which was just the last time, was when it was her 40th birthday, so that's a year ago today, and I went up there and she had gone downhill a lot at that point. She couldn't move, actually. She couldn't really move much at all, maybe a couple of little moves, but nothing much. She had to be really helped. And her speech was gone by then, but she could kind of, sometimes, you know how you can tell from the expression in the voice. So if she said, I love you, I could understand that. And the guys who'd been helping her, the girls and her husband and the kids, understood her a lot better than me because they were with her all the time. So she still really had a nice, you know, sort of form of communication in some way. I'm sure it was driving her nuts inside her head that she couldn't say everything she wanted. But when I had to say goodbye and catch the cab home because I had to fly back to Melbourne, saying goodbye to her on her birthday was so hard because all those other times that I'd gone up, she used to say to me, promise me you'll come back, and I'd go, okay. And so I'm thinking, oh, how am I going to get up again, leave the family at home in Melbourne, come up, and you know, like it was quite a big deal to do, but I wanted to be there for her. And this time she didn't say come back, and I looked at her and she looked at me, and it was such a deep look, and it was just it was a really, you can imagine, I don't know that words describe it. And then I'd sort of walk down the passage to go and get the cab, and then I'd have to run back and give her another kiss, and then I'd run back, and I did that several times. And somebody, I don't know who took it, but it's on my camera, and I've got this picture of her and I just looking at each other, and we're sort of side on like that, just looking into each other's eyes, and I really love that picture. In fact, I've kept it on my camera because I can't bear to wipe it off. I'm going to have to make the little bit with Sweet Home Alabama after this, I think, because I'm probably going way over time, but I really want to talk about her because I just do. So, as you know, I try to keep them under 5 minutes so I don't drive you silly. What was I going to tell you? So then, as I left, we did that. So anyway, I've still got that photo. I might put it on in a second, actually. In fact, I'll put it on right now. I'll find it and I'll put it on right now, and I'll come right home, which is... So you can see in that picture we're really looking at each other, and Pip was the most beautiful girl, even as a child. You know, she had that amazing colouring of, and the fortune of having olive skin that we all were jealous of, and always like no freckle, just perfect brown olivey skin, blonde hair and brown eyes. And in actual fact, she looked like a little bit like Britney Spears when Britney Spears was gorgeous. So you'll see that in my Sweet Home Alabama thing. I really hope that you will look at it, because I would really love her to, you know, she would love it that you all know her and can see her. So she was still beautiful right up until the end, but in these last pictures, it's hard because she couldn't put her own makeup on and all that sort of stuff. In fact, her ex-husband Peter, who came back on the scene and was amazing, put her makeup on her. I got a picture of him putting lipstick on her, and he was just really very good. And on her 40th birthday, he actually found their old engagement ring. I think Pip had lost a couple of stones out of it, so he had it all redone and resized so it would fit her hands properly, and gave it to her on her birthday. And I might put those little pictures in now too. Okay, just because it was very emotional, very emotional. Okay. I just also found a few pictures of Lisa, Pip and I. So we were the three that grew up together, and Lisa came up with me on the middle trip to see Pip. So I'll just throw a couple of those pictures in too. Okay. And this next one, I'm just going down memory lane a little bit here. This is a picture also taken on that same middle trip, and it's her son and her ex-husband, and she loved this picture because you know how you've got the digital and you can look at the back now. Well, I showed it to her and she goes, "Oh, I love that picture. It's very cute." So it's her, Mitchell and Peter. So and she's just looking, it's beautiful. And she's got my necklace on, so I made her quite a few pieces. Each time I went up, I'd sort of take something, and she got quite cheeky in the end. She used to ring me and go, "I need a white necklace," or "I need this." So it was very cute, and I was so happy to be able to do something that would make her feel happy. Okay. And here is a picture I found on one of Peter's CDs that he sent me of her and her little family as kids, and she looks beautiful. So you can kind of see her in her really beautiful time. Okay, so much I want to say, and so much I'm scared I'm going to leave out. And anyway, I am gonna make a separate one because this is going on way too long. But I really wanted to talk about her, and I wanted her family to see this too. Okay. I've just been out to the garage to go through all the boxes of stuff that I tidied off my shelves. Now, I had a chaotic mess before, I think. A chaotic mess, but it was organised chaos because now Pete, Pip's ex-husband, had done this amazing PowerPoint video for her 40th last year, and he gave me a copy, which I have, and it's great. And I was going to take a few little pictures of that from when she was a kid, from when I met her and from when I remember her vividly, because, you know, it's her whole life, and I wanted you to get a feel of that. So I haven't got that. I might find it, and I might be able to do it next week and just do it for those interested and for me and for her family. But at the moment, my next one, the part 2 of this, which will be up in a minute, will be Sweet Home Alabama, with all the last pictures that I took in that last year. So thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of this, I'm very grateful, because she would love it that you've got to know her as well. And she was a gorgeous friend, and it was a real experience sharing that last year with her, and I'm glad she was so open and let me in to share it with her, and wanted to see me so much, because it made me feel really great to be able to be there for her. All right, I love you, Pip. I miss you.